so excited to start off our campaign for Women's Month, which is all about building a stronger future for females. And we're going to be celebrating, obviously, International Women's Day, but we're really going to be highlighting all through the month fantastic women, getting insights, advice, learning about their experiences, their stories, to hopefully inspire other women and also men to support women on their journeys as well. So I'm really excited to kick off this first episode of the campaign with an absolutely fantastic guest. She is a culture manager at Red Bull. She is an entrepreneur, podcaster, actress, mum, lots of things under there, lots of projects that she's doing, all really exciting and fantastic. And we're going to discuss some of those today, really. And I'm so looking forward to it. But as usual, I'm just going to start off talk about what I'm wearing. So for those of you that are listening or viewing and you want to know what is going on in my background, it's standard. You know that I have my plant Chaz here. My background is beigey plainy, but I have got a little picture hanging out there too. I'm wearing a green and white checkered top, got a gold chain on. I've got long brown hair. I've got my red lipstick on, brown skin. I don't think you can see my jeans, but I'm also wearing jeans. So that's where it's at today. And I'm going to hand over to our guest now. So Natalie, please introduce yourself.
Oh, that was such a great intro. So I'm Natalie Duvall. I will tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a brown cardigan with a black top underneath. My background is quite plain. I can't remember what they're called, but you know, those wispy flower things that are like willow something. I can't remember, but it's like a flower.
I can't remember what they are, but they almost look like those dusters.
Yeah, like the duster kind of thing. The name will come to me in the middle of this interview and I'll say it, but I can't remember what it's called. And I am a Black woman, and like all Black women, my hair changes daily, if not hourly. And at the moment, I have a thing called crochet braids in my hair, and it's got a wavy curl to it. So yeah, that's me.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. And thank you so much for joining us. So launching a business, obviously I'm a businesswoman as well. There are challenges around that, but I do feel like there are perhaps sometimes even more challenges for people of color, whether that's men or women, when they come to launching a business and getting that support, whether that's investment, funding, whether that's support in boardroom, access to these areas perhaps that they've not had access to before. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey when you were sort of like launching March Muses and how you kind of went about getting out to the wider market and getting perhaps into those bigger companies and creating those partnerships and stuff?
So when we first started, when we launched our business, we launched an Instagram page. And I think, you know, people think, oh, I've got to have this together, I've got to have this. And that's one way of doing it. Yes, having a business plan, having all these things together is one way. But I can't stress, there are so many different routes into business. There are so many different routes. And it really is about how you learn, how you take in information, which is the best way for you and how you run your business. For example, I'm not really huge on like reading all these different books on business, but I love a podcast. And I love a YouTube series, and I'll listen to a podcast on business. I'll watch a YouTube series. That's how I retain information. I'm more visual, and that's how I've always been, because I'm a creative. And so when we first started, we literally just said, okay, let's just start an Instagram page. We had our name, we had an Instagram page. We had a business that wasn't really making money, was doing really well, but wasn't profitable. And so we thought, oh, okay, let's close that business down. It was another Christmas business, but it was a more theatrical Christmas business that we were doing, but it never made any money, always like just kind of broke even. So my business partner and I, we invested literally maybe a couple £1,000 each into March Muses, and we worked with a supplier in China, and we created 6 products. So we created like a Santa, an Afro angel, 2 little boys and a girl, and I think another type of angel. So we just 6 products. We weren't sure if people were going to like it. Yeah, we literally did a small order. So we ordered maybe like 200 of each, because we were like, we don't want to be stuck with all these angels if no one buys them. And then when we started the business with the Instagram, we said we've got a new website, a website that I created. I've never done a website before. went on to GoDaddy, and it was kind of plug and play. Wasn't the greatest of websites, but it did what it needed to do. It had the products on there. You could buy it. It linked to our bank account. Like, it just, it just made sense for what we were doing. And then we launched. We showed all our friends, our family. It was by word of mouth that we were able to market it. I was telling everyone at work, and because of what it was, and because we launched it in October 2019. So as we're about to go into the Christmas period. Yeah. So Christmas is on everyone's mind, and it stopped everyone in their tracks. They were like, "Oh my goodness, yes, of course. Why don't I have this on my?" So that was the reaction from most people, and they would buy one. They'd buy one for themselves. They'd buy one for a friend. They'd buy one as a gift. When we launched, they were £6.50 at the time. So great, like Secret Santa gift, something under £10. And we sold out within 2 weeks. We were like, okay. It was 2 weeks, we're all gone. It's not even nearly November yet. So what do we do? So we spoke to our supplier. They were able to provide us with more. And now we had a bit more money that we could order a lot more. So that was our first year. Absolutely amazing. We bought in, I can't remember, but we made £12,000. I can't remember what we bought in, but we made £12,000 profit. So we were like, look at that. Look at us with our £12,000 profit, like on our first go. So what we did, we reinvested that money into new products and new ranges. Because Alison and I both have full-time jobs, we didn't have to pay ourselves. Yeah. And I think that's what was it was a good thing and a hard thing. Yeah. Great that we don't need to pay ourselves. Hard, we have full-time jobs. So we're exhausted trying to do this at the same time. So, you've got to kind of weigh that up. Second year was 2020. We all know what happened. Black Lives Matter, COVID as well. So it was it was crazy. So by June, we were just getting all these questions, all these inquiries, and we were like, it's not even Christmas yet. And people are like wanting to buy our products and all this kind of stuff, which was absolutely amazing. And so we knew that we were going to have a stonking year, and we did. So that year we turned over, I think, 80,000. And that was only from September to December. So we only opened in Q4. So just 4 months. Nice. And so we brought in like 80,000 in 4 months, and we had a profit of like 30,000. Nice. So we were like, okay, I feel like we're onto something. And then we were knocking on the doors of retailers. We were knocking on the doors, because people would say to us, can I buy this in John Lewis? Can't I buy this in the garden centre? And we're like, we have tried. And when I say we had tried LinkedIn, we had tried emailing, we had tried sending gifts, sending products, sending everything. We had tried everything, and we just could not break through. The gatekeepers were gatekeeping. Sometimes we get a response, and they would send us to another department, because they still weren't ready for something like this. They still weren't ready for a brown angel. It's a bit. Why is it a bit? We're talking about an angel here, and this is when Alison said, you know what, we need a bigger platform. When you and I, as two Black women, we can only take this business so far. As annoying as that is, we can take it so far, because we just can't break through. In the UK, you just can't break through. And so this is when we decided to go on Dragon's Den, which was a huge risk. But if it went right, it was huge reward. And actually, if it didn't go right, it was still huge reward, because, where in the world do you get to talk about your business for 15 minutes on national TV in front of millions of people? Adverts are 2 minutes long max. The fact that we could speak about our business, speak about our purpose, speak about why it's needed for 15 minutes, we knew that it would be transformative. Even if we didn't get investment, we knew that the message would have been there.
Look at that Trunkle thing. Is it Trunkle? That kids suitcase thing where you pull them along. Yeah. They didn't get investment, but they,
Neither did Ring Doorbell. So the Ring Doorbell, it was the Shark Tanks. It was the American one. Yeah. They didn't get investment. It was called Doorbot or something like that. And then Amazon bought it, and now the company's worth like trillions of pounds. I mean, so it happens. Yeah, it happens. It does
happen. It's the platform, being able to get that out there. It's
the platform. It's BBC. it's primetime TV, it's Black women on TV. It's like there were so many boxes that we were ticking. We were like, whatever happens, something's going to happen. There's going to be a shift. And I always feel like if you are stuck somewhere, you need to do something. Otherwise, nothing's going to shift. You just need to, you know, if you feel stuck and you don't know where to go, just try something completely different, because it will open the door. And whether that door leads to something good or bad, at least you tried, and at least you know, okay, I'm not going to do that again. Or okay, thank God I did that again. So it's just always moving forward. Don't stand still. And so yeah, we went on there and we were so happy that we got investment from two dragons, £50,000. And we just knew that they could take us into rooms that, as two Black women in 2022, 2021, we knew that we were knocking on the doors, and then we couldn't. And then as soon as we did, then we started to, you know, speak to more shops, more people had interest. And it was literally down to that, which is annoying. And this is the thing, there needs to be more diversity in the boardroom to see these things. So it's a horrible statistic. And this statistic stays with me for a very long time. In 2021, venture capital, so lots of VCs invested in lots of like businesses. 87% were white male businesses. 9% were white female businesses, and 0.02% were Black female businesses. So that's 0.02%.
Oh my gosh.
So that just says it all. That just says it all.
I mean, I'd seen the stats around, for example, Black women in business, you know, obviously not receiving as much investment or funding, but even trying to get a bank loan, less likely to get a bank loan for your business. Your repayment or interest is higher. I'm like, can you literally officially discriminate against people, women of color, when they're trying to, get funding for their business through normal means that anybody would go and get a loan, for example, for something? And companies are allowed to do that, just turn people down based on the color of their skin or their gender. It really shocked me, really shocked me. Did you, like, before obviously going on to Dragon's Den, did you kind of do any looking for investment outside of that, outside of obviously the program?
We looked at a few different things, a few funding initiatives, but for us, we knew it was mainly marketing that we needed. And that was, you know, we needed investment, but we also needed marketing, because that's money, that's value that you just can't put a price on, because it's just priceless. And we knew we had a little, we somehow got some products to Mark Hayes, and he does Lorraine. He does like the fashion segment on Lorraine, and it was Christmas 2020, so it was during the Black Lives Matter year. And he said, "Oh, I absolutely love this. I'm going to get it on my segment." And he does clothes. So I was like, okay, but he's a man, he's a gay man. He understands what it's like to not be seen and to keep fighting towards something. And so somehow he was doing a segment on Christmas homeware, and he was like, "Oh, and also, Lorraine, here's a brown angel. It's from a company called March Muses. Isn't she beautiful?" And Lorraine went, "Oh, yes, she's lovely." That was it. That day we took in £10,000.
Wow.
Just from that. And I can't, it was maybe 15 seconds, if that. So we knew that if we can, in 15 seconds, bring in 10 grand, can you imagine 15 minutes and what that could bring in? And we were proven right. We knew when we were on Dragon's Den, that first day, we took in nearly 30,000 just in that first hour or that first night of airing on Dragon's Den.
So I wanted to turn freelance, I wanted to get to a C-suite position. What would be your advice to them?
My advice, especially with women who want to start a business, I think a lot of women, the barrier to entry to starting a business is that, oh, it's already out there, it's already done, someone else is already doing it. And that might be true, but so what? No one's going to do it the way that you do it. And you only have to look at Tesco's, look at Sainsbury's, look at Asda, 3 of the hugest grocery stores that do exactly the same thing. They sell food, yeah, but they do it in their way. You know, Asda's got the money, you know, the tap on the button, the money thing. Tesco's is every little helps. You know, they've, you know, Iceland, that's why mums go to Iceland. Like, they've all got their thing that is going to attract a certain buyer. Yeah. And so that's what you need to remember, that there's a buyer that's there for you. So you can have a clothing range, even if there's another clothing range out there that's similar, but nothing's going to be how you present it and how you do it. So I think my advice is just know that what you offer to your business is you. And so that's why you always have to fill your cup first. Make sure that you look after yourself, you fill your cup, because you are your business. And just start. Like, and it doesn't have to be this huge, daunting task of a business plan and this, like, you'll get there. You'll get to that part. But just start an Instagram. It's free. It's there. You know, start listening to a podcast. Again, it's free. Majority of them, it's there. Watch YouTube. If you don't know how to do something, and I still don't know how to do a lot of things. I didn't even know what, like, you know, SEO was and all these different terms. But guess what? There is a YouTube episode that will break it all down for you. And YouTube, again, is free. Yeah. So I think use the free resources around you to start something on, like, a very basic level. And then the more you get into it, the more ideas you'll get, the more people you'll meet, and the more you'll get more confident about, you know, pushing your business forward.
We're going to pop lots of links down in the notes. So obviously to March Muses website, to your podcast, and anything else as well, your recommendations for the books and things like that. So people can go and have a look at those themselves. So thank you so much, Natalie, for your time, your insights. It's been really inspiring. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. And just everyone, if you're listening, just keep on going. We're all in this together, literally.
I'm not. Also, forgot to mention as well, Natalie is also a speaker for the Diverse Speaker Bureau as well. So if you're listening and you like her, come and book her for events. So yeah, thought I'd mention that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.